Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be this morning I was messing around with the blast plate, the new one, and this is it on Seth Rollins. Um, it's kind of interesting, right? So the new plate, when you make 6 or more blast gems, increase all your gem damage by 500%. Then we're comboing it with blasting off, make 8 blast gems into multiply gems of strength 8. So Seth has this no move the pin bar when you destroy the blast gems, right? So we're using the Falcon Arrow, make 9 random gems into blast. That's 7 yellow MP. Frog Splash, 8 yellow MP. Destroy 7 random blast gems. The damage is minimal. It doesn't really matter. And then just for funsies, I have the buff in here, which adds 100% red gem damage for 2 turns. So when it hits red gems, that's huge, especially if it's multiply gems, right? So entourage is Kofi and Braun. Breaker to start with technically 9 yellow MP, so you got plenty to spare. And then I got Bailey for 40% red, 60% multiply. Then we got Ray for an extra blast gem, and 25% more on the blast, but it's mostly for the extra help negate some of that RNG. And I just, like I said, just kind of messing around with it this morning. This isn't a build I don't think that I would run like in competitive modes, but it is interesting. Of course, to recycle the yellow this way, you only need 1 multiply gem to land on a yellow that you destroy. So it's pretty easy. You can see right out the gate doing it once. The yellow's worth 30 or 3 million, not 30. Anyway, let's just hit this, see how much damage we do on 1 cycle. 28 million, but we refilled. We did not fill the red gem buff. Okay, no big deal. Still a couple blasts, 3 blast gems out, or 3 multiply gems out there, right? So, yeah, unfortunately, all these are over here, so we probably won't recycle the yellow. Let's find out. We don't, but you can see we did 61 million. So Sammy's already a goner, right? And then, you know, we did some wild cards, so... Oh, we didn't do wild cards, so... We would have lost that one. Even though he was... Well, maybe not lost it. Sammy would have got his turn. But the buff lasts for 2 turns, so when you swipe... I mean, this is more interesting to me for boss, to be honest. Now, let's see. That was, 57 million there, right? Like, it just, it hits pretty hard. I'm just gonna try a bunch of different stuff here, because like I said, I was just messing around with it, and it's pretty interesting. You can see that was 100 million on the swipe in Small Cascade. It's a lot. It's a lot. So obviously the red gem buff is huge when it hits reds, so that's kind of like how you can get some bigger stuff, but there's also other stuff you can do. Probably, like, if I was gonna feud with this build, which I don't think I would ever, you could do something like... Oh, earlier, let me actually run this a couple more times, because earlier I got it up to, like, I was doing, like, hundreds of millions of damage. So, let me just run this a couple times, let's just see what happens. Love to see that. So that's 38 million there. We got the buff in play. We got reds and yellows on the board. That was 74 million. So we've done like 100 million now. We got the buff again. We may have struggle with some of the yellows here, unless a multiply lands on one and a blast near it. I think we are going to struggle with some yellow. Yeah, but we did 91 million there, so yeah, it's pretty interesting, to be honest. You can see that was 100 million just on a swipe, right? The damage ramps up pretty fast. I think it's like actually incredibly interesting for boss, to be honest. Yeah. I'm gonna mess around a little bit here. This is just kind of the starting place. I'm using 100% strap, Fury 2s, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy there. But this is just, I thought it was interesting enough. Obviously, stip tour applications with this, right? I mean, like, yeah. The no move pin bar is disabled in stip though, so remember that. So that wouldn't be there. You can see this one is just setting up to be super unfortunate here, but kind of spicy in that regard. There's a swipe for 75 million. Is that 75 million, I think? I don't know. There's no commas, so maybe it's only been like 7 million or stuff on the swipes. I can't, like, I don't think so, though. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about the swipes. It's early. But, I mean, obviously the damage is pretty big. Yeah, so then you have multiple options after that. Like, you can use the low charge. You're almost for sure going to have this loaded. So you can just kind of use this as the win button sort of thing, right? Like your pin, your finisher almost, with the random yellows. Because odds of not generating enough purples off of this are pretty slim, I would say. So you can switch to the purple. 36 mil. And you could probably honestly just go with the win button right here, if you wanted to, at this point. $78 million. So that was like 110 million. What's four moves? So it was 4 moves. So like if you're using it for feud, you can kind of play that by ear based on how many yellows are on the board. You could also switch your trainer at that point too, and say, you know what, I'll take out Bailey and generate 3 more yellows, like with zombie steamboat, for example, depending on how you wanted to go. Like if you really wanted to feud with it. Mutant Seth looks amazing too, though, right? So I can see wanting to use him just because he looks really cool. But you could this is a build, like, you'd have to play him a lot, I think, to try and see what's super consistent for you, right? Like, here it is again. This is probably... blasts are around the yellow, multiple... Yeah, this one, I probably would just go like this for funsies, because if you know... It's like 70 million in 4 moves. We could have easily, like, probably recycled it again, so... I mean, I don't know, like... I think a lot of people probably will like this type of thing. Yeah. Is he available in the club store? I have him on my account, so I don't know. If he is, how much is he? Is he, like, 200,000, 400, 500, 700? What is he? This has got a ton of yellow. Like 29. Let's just see how long we can go again with this. This is probably not as impressive as the red can be, but this is probably way safer. Yeah, I mean, like, so Sammy's already well out of his misery, if you want to call it. So we've done like probably like 80 million-ish. This is a bunch more. There's 90, so that's like 170. It starts ramping up pretty fast. $122s, and then now we ran out of juice, right? So, but I mean, we did like 300 million damage, so whatever. I think that was 100 million, right? Is that right? I think I'm reading that right. So it's just kind of interesting with a lot of options. There's another route you can go as well that you could potentially really start. You could use the choose 7 to make into red. You could also use the sub in there because that's going to blow up the board a lot, right? Like, here, I'll show you what I mean. Like, There's just so many potential combos with this. Again, I don't personally like it. This is not where I would put this plate. This is not my kind of gameplay style. But I know some people like it, and it's kind of fun to play around with a little bit, if you know what I mean. I mean, that was 33 million, and then let's just put Sammy out of his misery with the sub. Oh, we didn't explode that much of the board, actually. That was surprising. I mean, we're probably still gonna win anyway, but yeah, that kind of missed, actually. That was kind of surprising, huh? I mean, but then we just can hit the sub again. Though, let me try that one again. That was unimpressive. Didn't like that. But yeah, if you're trying to decide like what you want to do with him, or if you wanted to do this if you got the plate, and you can do this with just the Titan plate too, it's just not nearly as impressive because you don't have the multiplies and it's only 200% instead of the 500%. But it's not nearly, like I said, it's not nearly as effective. This is like a interesting board, doesn't look real great. We ended up fine, so that's cool. 43 mil. Let's just see what happens here. Much better result that time with it. We hit for 63. Does feel riskier, I guess. Maybe than the other move sets. So you could choose 8 gems to make into Blassin. Doesn't do anything. Okay. This is probably the safest moveset, but probably also the most time consuming. So right, like we know we can just set up a swipe and blow it up. So like right here, right? We could do this. And you do like a X. Right? And then you're going to get most of the board. And then just swipe. And you can see blow up the board. That was 70 million. Off of the first 30 million we did. That's honestly probably the safest build set. But you have to do some choosing. But that is probably absolutely the safest because it's very unlikely that you wouldn't fill the yellow again or the purple. So honestly, I think you would have a very high success rate this way. This was probably, like, if you were going to feud with him, probably the best way to do it with this setup, question mark. I think the least risky. If that makes sense, maybe not the fastest, but the least risky. You're basically almost guaranteeing yourself 2 cycles, I think, with this setup, right? And then, of course, let's just go for a little bit. That was 83 mil right there. Kind of ran out of juice there. Yeah, there's a yellow mark. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, sure, like that. I haven't played like this in a while, so could be better. You can see that swipe, 170 million, right? I mean, like, yeah. You could also use the choose red. I mean, like, it's kind of whatever's clever, right? 40 million. His new plate's amazing, by the way. Another 40 million. That was actually 50. And you can see these two moves are really smooth. They actually play really fast, right? I was 90. $138. $142, and let's just finish it off with a big ol' smackarooski. We'll go like, yeah, here. That swipe shouldn't mess up too much, right? And then here, that, and we're just gonna swipe that over. 192 million. So yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, this is not my kind of gameplay, right? Not normally the kind of stuff I do. So I just figured I would just throw some stuff out there for the people that are interested in this kind of thing, and you guys can fine tune it whatever you think is better or most fun. I mean, like, if you're just going for like silly damage, you would use the red buff, get some reds on the board. Get some chunks of blast gems out. I think if you wanted to actually feud with it and be consistent, probably this. Hypothetically, you could remove Ray, but I feel like the more blast gems just helps make it more consistent, right? So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. I'm curious what you think in the comments, so please let me know. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, because that really helps me out. This plate is just really good, really interesting, and let's see. You only need to make 6 blast gems. So I got another one, definitely another one coming after this that I think will be super, super interesting. Anyway, let me know what you think. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Very curious what you guys think.